Now, after you have counted and ranked different challenges, we can come to the opportunities for the Eastern Partnership countries. And it is my pleasure to pass the floor to Mr. Renato Girelli from the European Commission. So you are my colleague from the European Commission, DG for Research and Innovation. According to the program, you will inform us about the opportunities for Eastern Partnership countries provided by the Erasmus Plus program.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning, Minister, Head of the EU Representation, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank the Rector, Vice Rector for the University of Latvia hosting us today here. And a special thanks goes, of course, to Tatiana Muravska, the Director of the Center of European and Transition Studies, that is a Monnet Center of Excellence, which has a long and solid tradition on teaching and research related to social and economic integration. The Center has also a particular attention to the Eastern Partnership countries. I'm pleased that we are having this conference today in Latvia, which is a country very much committed to the Eastern Partnership and which will host, as we have already heard, the next Eastern Partnership Summit during the presidency beginning in 2015. Today and tomorrow we will have the opportunity to listen and discuss about issues which are on top of the agenda for relations among our countries, such as security, stability, democracy, rule of law, economic integration. On my side, as I'm working on Director General for Education and Culture at the European Commission, I will talk firstly about education and its undeniable link to individual and collective development. Then I will go more in depth into the specific of international academic cooperation, finally concluding on the EU program and the Monnet activities and their funding. Monnet activities in which the Eastern Partnership countries have an increasingly important place. The world economy and the complexity of political and societal interrelations means that we face more and more common challenges. These should be addressed timely with the participation of all players and via an open dialogue and possibly with transparent measures. Recovering the 2008 crisis, as an example, is only possible within a vast common strategy and a coordinated joint effort which should be based mostly on public intervention, having as primary goal to create new positive dynamic capable to give people confidence, necessary resources for full participation in social life, and the instrument for their insertion in the labor market. The Union, by the European Commission action, has done its best to help this kind of exercise and has designed and launched early in 2010 the EU 2020 strategy, also identifying three major key drivers for moving out of the crisis: smart, sustainable, inclusive. These are the three dimensions of the future of EU growth, aiming to make the Union a more attractive place for which investment will come and placing Europe back at the highest level in the world stage. However, until now, and we are already at the midpoint of the 2020 strategy lifespan, we have to say that the interconnection between the three dimensions has not been completely achieved. Too much emphasis has been given to the growth as such, which is not always in line with the inclusiveness and sustainability of our economy. Education, and in particular higher education, is and remains essential for the development of our societies, especially in periods of changes such as the one we are currently living with. And education plays also a major role in our EU 2020 strategy. As it is stated in our specific ET 2020 paper and in many of our policy documents at the Director General level, education and training should become more flexible and responsive to real-world needs. Yet, the effects of the education are not designed for the short term, and I think that we should reflect far beyond the 2020 horizon. Needs evolve too rapidly, and in rethinking education and higher education in particular, we should foresee to modify and adapt our curricula irrespective of the economic conjuncture and of the particular kind of economic growth we may choose. At the level of the Union, important efforts have been made in this sense, and even more are planned. On the one side, with the reform agenda for the modernization of higher education, the basis of which has been presented in 2011, we underline how vitally important it is that higher education helps students to develop a wide range of more general competencies: adaptability, communication, problem solving, foreign languages, and of course, European Union issues. These should be promoted as possible in all disciplines and for all kinds of jobs. On the other side, with a substantially increased budget for supporting the 2014-2020 education and training program, in which a stronger participation of member states and non-member states is scheduled, we will see more institutions and more companies and NGOs and the social society participating also from the Eastern Partnership side. The importance of higher education at global level will continue to grow in the years ahead. Students, if they can, want to travel in pursuit of learning and of opening their horizons. And institutions and governments agree that they should be encouraged to do so. But universities need to have a comprehensive strategy that goes beyond mobility and encompasses many other types of academic operations, such as the joint degrees, support for capacity building, research projects, and distance learning programs. The Commission is working on implementing a strategy for European higher education in the world, encouraging member states and the institutions to define and support comprehensive internationalization instruments. These include the scholarship programs, information and promotion measures, recognition procedures, better international student services, and international alliance and partnerships. But we also look at the concept of internationalization at home. We want to ensure that the majority of students who are not in the position to study abroad can nevertheless enjoy the benefits associated with international exposure. In that concept, we are aware and we fully support the new phenomenon of massive open online courses, the MOOCs. This is a move started by a few top institutions in the United States first, but it's growing importance every day. The potential implications of this new mode of learning are enormous, both in terms of student choice and also in terms of cross-border higher education delivery. International cooperation exchanges and the use of distance learning tools and mobility are all valuable ways to pursue quality in higher education. The country of neighborhood policy, and in particular those of the Eastern Partnership, are at the center of our effort too. And this will be achieved partly thanks to the Erasmus Plus program and partly with the policy dialogue. In fact, parallel to the program, and I will talk about the program a bit later, and in particular on the Jean Monnet actions, the EU services have already initiated the policy dialogue with the ministers of all the countries concerned in the Eastern Partnership. These different platforms are already full operational, and the platform 4 that is dedicated to contacts between people is now launched and has an agenda and a work program already agreed for the 4 years. We may reassure you that from our side, we will do our best to actively participate to the platform, actively be present in the debate, and give the full support to action and their visibility in the future. With the type of cooperation and dialogue that the EU and the Eastern Partnership countries have established, we can address the challenges ahead of us. And the Commission has shown its commitment already in the past with quite heavy funding of the Tempus project, the Erasmus Mundus exchanges, and the Jean Monnet activities. Thanks to these programs, we have had 6,000 students and teachers from the Eastern Partnership countries experiencing the period of activities in the member states. And the number of joint activities has been launched as well. While the Tempus joint projects have contributed to modernizing universities, laboratories, and libraries, sharing academic experience, Tempus structural measures have been instrumental for reforming higher education and adapting and integrating the curricula in the institutions. Erasmus Mundus, on his side, has brought together universities for joint and double diplomas, sharing competence and offering students unique opportunities. But the Jean Monnet activities have not been a minor player as well. They have boosted teaching and research about the European Union facts, allowing researchers and teachers to introduce new modules and courses in their faculties. The Center of Excellence and the chairholders have often been requested to contribute with their expertise and being at the disposal of their government and the international context. I've mentioned the international dimension of higher education and the contribution of Erasmus+, and I will spend a few more words on the Jean Monnet activities, which, by the way, celebrate this year the 25th anniversary. This 25th anniversary will also be the occasion for a major conference in Brussels on 1st of October that will be opened by President Mr. Barroso and the Commissioner Mrs. Vassiliou, and the conference will have as a topic the European Union studies around the world. The Jean Monnet community itself is a consolidated network of more than 4,000 researchers and teachers, and more than 100 of centers of excellence that are active around the 5 continents. And the Jean Monnet activities in the framework of the Erasmus Plus program will maintain and reinforce the part of teaching, so the chairs and the modules, while they will be also able, with new funding, to open the way to networks and projects. Network and projects are in fact our new part integrated in the program, and these are important because they will allow teachers to find the opportunity to gather and work together on specific themes and debate and progress on defining new methodologies or updating the curricula they are reading. Activities will last for 3 years and will be funded as a multilateral cooperation. But projects as well are important for us. Projects for innovation on the one side that are linked to new technologies for creating online materials or experiences shared activities. The aim is to extend the target to be reached, to include students not usually directly concerned by EU facts and reaching out also the civil society. And projects for cross-fertilization that may serve the purpose to run joint research and support creation of new pools of knowledge in countries and universities that are not currently present and where the program is not yet active. Thank you very much for your attention.